Game time reading. Let's talk Guardians. We're going to finish the show with this preview of an AL Central showdown that could determine the fate of the Guardians' playoff hopes. And if you want to check out a Guardians game later this season, you better be buying those tickets on the Game Time app. I've used Game Time to go to 3 different Guardians games this year. I've used their priority last-minute deals. If you wait till the last second, you get the best available deals in the park. I also love seeing the full panoramic view from my seat before I buy it. And I hate when you look in to buy a ticket online and you see it's $28. You click on it, it costs you $60 because of the ticket fees and taxes on the back end. Well, Game Time doesn't do that. They give you the full price up front. So take the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets with the Game Time app. Just download Game Time, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. A few housekeeping notes on the Guardians. They've made a few moves before today's doubleheader. They've recalled Will Brennan from AAA. They've also recalled Joey Cantillo, who's getting the start in the first game. Alex Cobb will start in the second game tonight. They've placed Carrasco on the 15-day injured list. They've also sent Angel Martinez back down to AAA in replacement with Will Brennan. Guys, you got Cantillo on the mound. You got Alex Cobb making his first start for the Guardians. In the second leg of the doubleheader, they have a 3.5-game lead over the Twins with this 4-game series coming up. I can't emphasize and state the importance of this series enough. Jay, Jason G, what do you expect from the Guardians in this not do or die, but this crucial AL Central showdown?
Hold on to the rope. At least get out of this with a split. They're obviously not playing well right now. They're scuffling a little bit. If you can just get out of here with a split this weekend, that's a win, and keep this thing at, I think they're 3 back. I think the Twins are 3 back in the loss column. Just tread water at this point and don't let them completely overtake you.
Yeah, man. This pivotal right here. You got to get to. You cannot lose this series because it just feels like this feels different from a little bit before when they were scuffling. This feels like like it's one of them things where you know it's like running the 400 meter and you look behind you and be like, man, don't you look back. You better run through that tape. It's very pivotal, man. They got to at least, like Jason said, get this split because right now, to me, this is, and it's not like they look bad, but this is a point in time where they're just not getting much for that pitching rotation. And right now, it just feels like the Twins got all the momentum. It just feels like the Twins is coming to get them. And don't look, the Royals ain't going away either.
No, they're not. For anybody that maybe can remember back to their college car or the car that they drove for the first couple of years after.
Ford Taurus, 1994 Ford Taurus with tinted windows.
1983, what was it? Man, what was my first car? It was a Hyundai. Was it a Hyundai? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I had an 85 Plymouth Horizon.
That's what I had. That was it. Plymouth Horizon.
And you'll remember this.
Yeah, mine was an 83 hatchback.
You're driving down the road, getting great gas mileage, things working, everything's clipping. You're like, this car will probably last me 6-8 years. This thing's a beast. And then all of a sudden you look down at the dashboard and the check engine light isn't on, but it's flickering. Remember that? It would flicker. like is there a wire underneath there? Why is it flickering? It's almost like it's telling you, you got some issues. Might want to get that oil changed.
Yeah.
You might want to check out your oil filter and spark plugs. It's not it's not full red yet, but it's and that's what's going on with the Guardians right now. It's not fully lit, but that sucker's flickering.
Yeah.
And it's been flickering for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So you better pull into a garage and find out what's going to happen. Now, I think to me, the worst case scenario would be a split. If you can take 2 of the 4, you exhale. No harm, no foul, because you're playing on their field. What you cannot do is lose 3 of 4. And if you lose 4 of 4, you leave and you're in second place.
Mm-hmm. That's vomit.
That's hitting the iceberg at full speed. Then every light on the dashboard would be on, every single one. Seatbelt, check engine, oil light, transmission light, brakes. Everything is flashing if they hit this.
Yeah.
If they go in there and they lose 4, can't do it. I looked yesterday because I was curious. Like, pitching help is coming, and that is key. I I don't know what's going to happen in game 1. In game 2, if Alex Cobb lays an egg in game 2, this is his first start of the season, if he isn't really, really good, that light's going to be fully lit.
Oh, I fully expect him to get hit. It's his first start.
I think he's going to be hit too. It can't be a disaster. It can't be 7 innings, 4 innings, 7 runs, and give up a couple of bombs. Like, it can't be that. I would take 2 or 3 runs in 5 innings. Right now, I think that would be a
really
win.
good start. Yeah.
But what cannot happen, because he is the only guy they brought in to be the savior.
Yeah.
What can't happen is him to just get his doors blown off.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay any attention to this. I mean, yes, it's a huge game. Yes.
It's going to give you an idea of what he is.
Well, I don't think it is.
I do,
We
Jay.
got 2 months to go. This is his first start coming off reconstruction surgery.
I agree. I understand.
I mean, go look at Jeffrey Springs, who's coming back with
No,
Tampa.
he didn't have reconstruction. He had a hip, didn't he?
I thought it was arm.
No, it was hip.
No, Alex Cobb had a hip injury.
Yeah, it was hip.
It's still his first start back. When you look at now, Jeffrey Springs was an arm. But these guys take time to get back into the rhythm.
I get that, but you know what?
I'm not going to pay any attention.
You're going to get an idea of what he looks like, what he has. We saw Tristan McKenzie his first couple of starts. We're like, oh my God, this ain't it. This is not it. I saw him in spring training.
Yeah.
And you could see the velo was down.
Yeah.
And I said, uh-oh. Maybe they're holding him back and he's not throwing hard yet. But as the time went on in spring training, I know you saw it too.
Yeah.
I was saying he just doesn't have it right now. And he hasn't developed it right now.
What is the mentality of a team that's been front running the whole year? They've been in the league.
Hold on to the rope.
The whole year.
Hold the rope.
And if you what are you going to look like if all of a sudden you're used to seeing your name in the first spot and now you're in second place and you slide? Do you got enough? What are you made of to say, okay, well, we can come back and we can take the lead again?
I mean, it's still August 9th. And even if they get swept and they fall to second place, it's going to feel like the world is ending and we still have 5 weeks to go. So it's not the
But here's the thing. If they get swept, because it's context, right?
Yeah.
It's a 9-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And your previous, just before the All-Star break, 9.5-game lead
is gone.
Has evaporated. I think, and anecdotal, didn't look this up. I've been a fan of baseball for the last 50 years where I look at the standings every day and I study it. Anecdotally, teams that have those double-digit leads in June and July and lose them never come back. That's just in my mind. Mm-hmm. There's a million examples. Recently, the Pirates, the Brewers, they had years where everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're the story in baseball." Well, what were the Guardians for the first 3 months?
The story
of baseball.
Yeah.
It's almost like an avalanche, and that first rock gets kicked off the top, and then it brings down a whole bunch of other rocks, and then it's an avalanche. It's hard to push those boulders back up the hill.
Yeah.
You can't lose 9 games in a row and recover from that. I don't think. And I wouldn't declare them dead, but if they were to be swept, this is a bigger problem than just these 4 games. And I know Arizona's a really good team. I wouldn't be completely shocked if Arizona made another playoff run. They're a good team.
Yeah.
And we were in all of those games, which is, I'm glad. We fell down, we fought back. We fell down, we fought back. In the end, the bullpen wasn't great, and we just didn't get the job done against Arizona. If we lose 4 in a row to fall to 9 games, it's not catastrophic, but it's like the doctor telling you you've got cancer. Now we're going to find out what kind it is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, too. You can't have – we've been relatively healthy with our everyday position players. If you fall down and you lose 4 and now you're in second place, you can't sustain any injuries to any Jose goes down for any sort of time, you're screwed.
Well,
Josh Naylor goes down for any sort of time, you're out of here. Because now you're going to say, well, where are we getting runs from? Where are we getting this from?
Well, the pitching staff has not been healthy. I mean, once again, we're primarily the entire season for the second year in a row without our 2 best arms.
Yes.
Bieber falls by the wayside after start 2. McKenzie's been a shell of himself all year long. He did look really good in his last minor league start. Let's hope that he hasn't pitched since then, right? I think he pitched Sunday, and he might be scheduled to go again tonight.
Who?
McKenzie.
Yeah, he's scheduled to go again tonight.
I was
Okay,
actually
so-
just looking up to see when his next start was.
We'll see. I was really hopeful that, and I know I got caught up in the excitement of Travis Bazzana, and I'm like, hey, he could be on this team in September.
He's struggling.
He's struggling. He's not even a little. He's struggling a lot. He struck out 10 times in 32 at-bats. He's hitting .208. The one positive is I think he's drawn 8 walks. So he's got the same eye that he had in college he has. But I wouldn't expect for him to be any part of a cavalry that's coming from the
No,
minor leagues.
no.
I think what it really drives home, and that's why I think Alex Cobb's start is so important. And I understand what you're saying, temper all of it on tonight. But I think down the road, like he's got to be the savior, Jeff.
Yes, I agree with that.
He has to be. He was the only
He has
guy
to
we
be-
brought in.
He has to be a big answer.
Yes,
going
and if
forward.
he isn't the savior and this team misses the playoffs, all the eyes at Progressive Field and the fan base are going to look right back at the front office and say,
You didn't do
these were
enough.
your deadline moves?
Yeah, you didn't do enough.
Because there were 2 pitchers that moved that were really, really good and would have looked really good on this roster. And we could have had, but now we still have Gabriel Arias and maybe next year. No. We were in striking distance this year.
Yeah.
If this lead slips away and it ends with no playoff experience or a one and done in a wild card series, I just think that everybody's going to look at the front office and say, you guys had this in your hands and you let go of the wheel and thought this thing was on autopilot, and it wasn't.
And their other acquisition, Lane Thomas.
No.
Early 8 games, tiny sample
I know.
size. Tiny.
But he is,
size.
I mean,
He's hitting 152 with a 455 OPS.
yeah.
In 8 games. Tiny sample size. Can't
Now
make
look,
any
Alex
any
Cobb might
observation.
go out tonight and throw 7 scoreless innings. I wouldn't bank on that. And here's the other thing, too. We're being gloom and doom, saying, well, if they're swept, they can leave Minnesota and they're in second place. On the flip side of that, if they win 3 of 4, they leave with a 4.5 game lead. And if by some weird miracle they sweep, then they lead with a 7.5 game lead.
Yep.
They would be 5.5 up.
5.5.
If they, yeah.
Three.
They
This
would
is
lead-
these
so-
are the pitching matchups, real quick, G, before you chime in. We have Cantillo versus Bailey Ober in the first game
Ober's
today.
been throwing well.
He
Cobb
has.
versus Varland. I'm unfamiliar with Varland, I'll be
Louis
honest.
Varland.
Yeah, okay, but I would think that it's a wash.
Gavin Williams versus Woods Richardson.
I don't know what Gavin Williams is anymore.
Yeah, he's been
That's
up and
game
down.
3. And game 4, it is undecided. That should be Bybee if he's back.
Yes.
We don't know if he's going to pitch yet.
They're
so
holding that slot right now for Bybee. If
Exactly.
not, would they move Logan Allen up?
Who else you got?
I don't know if they had an off day.
Well-
yeah, they could move Logan Allen up. They had an off day.
Yeah, so they could.
Yeah.
against
And
Festa.
Allen started the game in his first start from the minors. In the first pitch of the game was a home run, and the next hitter hit a home run. And then he pitched pretty well, I think into the 4th or 5th inning.
And he took one off the noggin.
I know
Yeah,
he did.
That was scary.
Who's
That's no fun.
pitching for Minnesota on Sunday?
Festa?
Oh, David Festa,
Yeah.
young guy. One of their top pitching prospects.
Better than I expected him to be, by the way.
Festa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
he's-
when I saw he was in their rotation, I'm like, okay, good. But
Now,
he's been
those
okay.
are both. Woods Richardson's a rookie, and Festa are both rookies. Woods Richardson's not overpowering. You can get to him.
What does Festa throw? What's his
hard?
hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he throws hard.
I don't know. It's all going to come down to what kind of pitching performances we get.
Yeah.
I do think the Bats have woken up from their sort of midsummer slump, going into the All-Star break and coming out of the All-Star break. I was stunned that this was the same team that put up the numbers they did.
Yeah.
But here in the last couple of games, you see signs of the offense coming up. Hosey had 5 homers in 5 games. Naylor's kind of got it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But some of the other guys have to contribute. Will Brennan, they've got a lot of guys that are just okay.
Medium sauce.
Medium sauce.
Medium sauce.
They've got when
Like-
Austin Hedges is in the lineup, you get 24 outs that game. You get 24 outs because he's hitting a $150.
Yeah, I know.
You're not.
You could hit a $150. You could run into enough base hits. Just it's stunning to me.
This is why it gets tough when you got young guys that if you a top prospect and you are touted as a guy that can do a lot of different things, I'll ride with you and go through the experience level and hope you get some experience so we can build on the future. And at least I know if you catch a hanging curveball, you can hit it out of the park.
He
right?
did that once this year.
When you
Got 1 home run, I think.
when you got some of the middling guys, like, you know what I'm saying, like you say, Will Brennan is a solid professional player. But when you're giving him these at-bats in playoff crunch time, is that going to amount to something? They got a bunch of decent guys.
Especially when you look at the Yankees roster.
Decent guys,
Like,
right?
I don't want to pitch to their 7, 8, and 9
No,
hitters.
I
Our
don't.
7, 8, 9 hitters, the pitcher can have a smoke and sit back and just worry about the top of the lineup in the next inning.
He can go after people. He don't even have to really give your main order guys nothing to hit. I'm never pitching to Jose Ramirez. So I'm pitching around him all day and twice on Sunday, and I'm gonna make everybody else 6 through 9 do something.
And that's the problem right now. I think Fry is tapered off big time. I think Will Brennan, if you look at their stats side by side, we did this Monday. When you look at Lane and Will's stats side by side,
same joint.
It's the same dude, Jay.
That's not good.
No, because this was your upgrade.
Yeah.
So, I know that I didn't want them to overpay, but based on what was going on this year, to get what you needed, you would have had to overpay. And they sat tight, and as a result, there's going to be some nail biting in September.
It depends. Like what Houston gave up for Kikuchi, I thought was insane. Like
Yeah, I agree with
if
that.
I'm Cleveland, I'm not giving
I don't
up.
think he's that good.
He's not. He's mid sauce.
Yeah.
So-
Medium sauce.
He's just an innings guy who, by the way, it might be what we have in Alex Cobb. We don't know.
Right, and they got Cobb for a heck of a lot less.
But there were some pitchers out there. Fetty was a guy that has got a proven track record this year.
Yeah. I'd like to know. I haven't talked to anyone over there.
Yeah, I was
I'd
going to
like
ask
to know.
you, what would they have had to give up to get him?
I don't know. I can get the answer to that, but I haven't.
That was a
talked to
weird
anyone
trade
over there.
because it was a three-team trade.
It was a three-team trade.
So it's hard to really
pull it apart.
and figure out what would have it taken for Cleveland to get him.
Yeah.
And it certainly isn't a case where Chicago is saying we're not going to trade him in our division.
No, I wouldn't think so.
They're 2 years behind everybody else in the standings.
Right.
They still got a lot of people that don't be playing. Like Arias. I don't. And when you drafted Bazana, I don't think Rocchio's in the mix. I think Rocchio, he's a guy that's going. I think he is what he is. I think he's a good glove. But besides that, like I don't see him being.
Jay, it's easy on Arias to get intoxicated by the moments of brilliance, the flashes that are there. And I think what the organization is looking at, he's had at-bats where I look at him and I go, how is he getting paid to play this sport? And then he's had other bats where I'm like, oh, okay.
How is he not a star?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's the Rubik's Cube that every single team does with prospects like this. How long is it going to take to figure this out? And how much time do we have? And I think with him and other, like Will Brennan to me has kind of hit his ceiling. I think that
he is what he is.
he is what he is. And you know what? That's okay. You can have one of those in your lineup.
He's a fourth outfielder.
That's it. He's not an everyday outfielder, but he's a guy that you can use if guys get hurt. You can use him in pinch hitting situations. He has power, but he's not going to rely on power. And then you look at Arias, and I watch him, and I want to fall in love with him again, but I can't.
No.
Man might want to Oscar Gonzalez him. Like Oscar, but listen,
Well,
Oscar
they didn't have
Gonzalez
anything
was
invested in Oscar Gonzalez.
and he was balling. I'm like, oh, they got one. They got one.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Is
After
he
the
even
playoffs-
is he with the Yankees still?
They released him, and then I don't know if they picked him back up. I don't know where he is. I feel like they released him and then picked
Isn't
him
that a
back up.
crazy
Ain't
fall
that
from
nuts?
grace?
Ain't that
I mean,
nuts?
Oscar Mercado,
Yeah,
he
they was playing
another one.
him.
Bradley Zimmer.
Time is up on Rocchio and Arias. It's short. Like
Yeah.
that's over now. With
I
Bazana,
agree.
it's over. Jimenez is going to be the shortstop next year, and Bazana will be up probably June. I think in June.
Yeah.
Ish. Bazana will be the second baseman. So Rocchio, to me, his time in the organization is almost up. Arias, I think, can move around a little bit more. Maybe his bat profile is a little bit more as an outfielder. I'm kind of with I've always been intoxicated with Arias. I thought he was going to be the guy at short.
Yeah.
And it just has never it's never happened. And
That's baseball, though.
And how long can you wait for him? And this organization tries to stay patient with these guys. I've heard it over and over. The one thing we cannot do is develop them, be patient with them, and then not quite patient enough and then miss and have them go perform for somebody
It's
else.
happened recently with
It
a
has.
couple of guys.
Yeah.
Well, when Manzardo getting back up here? Because I mean,
I don't know. That's a good question too. That's a good question. You'd think that he's got to be better than some of the everyday players we're seeing in the lineup right now. Obviously, some of it's positioning and what hole you put him in, but I'm getting nervous about the lead right now. I'm getting very nervous.
We were supposed to have Trisha Whitaker join us, who's calling the game tonight for Apple TV, but
Wait, she's calling the game?
sideline reporter.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
Part of the broadcast for the game.
Okay.
She hasn't called in, so we're gonna pivot, get her last read, and talk.
Didn't they do this last time?
Oh wait, no, she just joined us right now.
Oh,
So
good.
actually,
Okay.
She's We'll give her a sec. We're gonna do the read. We'll let her come in a sec. She's
Okay.
She's setting up right now. So